Hello, seek and read the book of the Lord, and this is an update about our faith. I will speak Taglish here. I have a Bible and a Quran as usual, and as you can see, I have changed my channel name, channel profile picture, and banner. As you can see, I want to talk about monotheism, how important it is. First, let's read Philippians in the Bible. Philippians 2 verse 10 to 11. Let's read. It says is this: that the name of Jesus every knee should bow, of things in heaven and things in earth and things under the earth, and that every tongue should confess that Jesus Christ is Lord, to the glory of God the Father. So according to the passage that we have just read, Jesus is Lord to the glory of God the Father. As a biblical Unitarian, I can see that as a passage. For me, before, there's no problem at all. I'm just being honest now that Jesus Christ Lordship before has no problem for me at all. Okay? But these past few weeks, past few days, I've just realized something about Lordship. That being a Christian, praying, me personally, if I'm going to still be a Christian, I can give you a little bit of a hint that a Unitarian who is praying to Christ as well, I just realized later on that it's not appropriate to do so. Because if you are an open-minded, you are going to study all of the monotheistic perspective, not just books, but perspective. You can see what is the most logical one. Let us read the Quran on the other hand. In Surah 23, Al-Mu'minun, verse 91. No son, in verse 91st, but we have brought them the truth, Islamic monotheism, Tawheed, and verily they disbelievers are liars. No son or offspring did God or did Allah beget, nor is there any ilah or God along with him. If there had been many gods, then each God would have taken away what he had created, and some would have tried to overcome others. Glorified is God above all that they attribute to him. I just want to clarify the difference between these two passages. Jesus Christ is a Lord to the glory of God the Father. In a Unitarian Christian perspective, there's no problem with that at all. But if you're going to study the whole monotheistic concept, what is the sense of believing Christ as Lord to the glory of God the Father if God the Father can be the Lord alone for your life? Are you getting the point? if the Father is the only Lord of your life, that would be make much more a lot of sense, right? Instead of having another Lord just to glorify the other one, and also having another judge, because that is a judge that given authority by the Father in John 5:22, that says that Christ said that God the Father will not be the judge of men, but all authority of judgment was given to Him. Well, as in a monotheistic concept, we have a problem with that. Personally, I'm not saying I'm representing all monotheists and Unitarians in all the world, but I'm just saying, in verse 22 it says, "For the Father judgeth no man, but hath committed all judgment unto the Son." Me, and in Unitarian, in the purest monotheistic view, I see this as God will judge us through the teachings of Jesus Christ. But I don't want to twist it. But I respect it, and at the same time, I give it more in a considerable side, in a considerable manner. But when it comes to the Quran, this is the verses, by the way, of all of the Islamic monotheistic view of the Quran. I will not read it all in whole, in order, or I will not read it all. But I have a separate video. My previous video actually gives it all completely. Maybe I miss some verses, but at least I give it a try since from the chapter 1 to through the last. But the point is, when you're going to understand the whole concept of Islamic monotheism, it makes much more a lot of sense that there is also a rule of monotheism. You cannot attribute, you cannot pray to other. Okay, that is also a shirk. If you're going to pray to other persons just to get closer to God, that is also a shirk. Isn't God can hear your prayers without any intercessors, intermediaries? Even Prophet Muhammad is dead. He is dead right now. He cannot hear our prayers. I understand the ownership, the respect was that is given to him. Also the same to Jesus, Moses, Abraham, and all of the prophets. But the focus of Islam on all of the sense is that there is only one God. Even the Lordship is not given to any other one. It's only to God. But in the Bible, even to Moses, even to Jesus, it was going to, give the confusion of worship. Who is worthy? Who is worthy of worship? There's no worthy of worship besides God, besides Allah. Besides Allah, it means Al-Ilah, the God, the one God, the very God. There's no God. But here, Christ said in the Bible that they believe. I'm just a seeker and reader of the one God. That's why I changed my name, because seek and read is a very broad and generic term, but seek and read of the one God, is a very strict in a field of monotheism. I want to be broad. I want to be bold and honest to you guys that monotheism is not a joke. It is a very strict rule. It has a very strict rule. I understand now why Muslims have tasbih. Okay, why have they have kufi or head cut. I'm not judging them now because finally I understand why they are so nerd, why they are so devoted. That is the very perfect term. Why are they very devoted when it comes to monotheism? Because that is a very important thing that people must understand in this life. Why pork is prohibited. Me, as a person who believes in the oneness of God in the Quran, I cannot say that I'm perfectly can, in all honesty, can follow all the rules of Islam in its entirety, like salah, prohibition in pork and such. But I'm trying my best in all practical and all my best possible. I'm trying my best, going to some masjids and praying like them, believing in the God that they believe, worshiping the God that they believe, understanding the perspective or the perception that they understand how to worship the one God. No intermediary, no intercession, no mediator, and or any person who can pray to you in heavenly realm. There's only one God who can hear us all. All creation need this God. All creation need this God. And some people, in my instinct, not just my instinct, but also in study, in deep study, there is some people who dig deep and enormously change something in this book. Maybe that's the reason why God gives some kind of a quality control to relocate the real monotheism. I'm not a bias of this. I in my previous video I just said that this is a very high maintenance. Islam has a very high maintenance, high standard. I cannot follow all of the rules, but the worship of their God is what I believe so. And everything will follow. Right? Now, the worship of one God is the most important. I cannot close my eyes. I might be a failure with some other doctrines or other beliefs, ordinances, some commandments in the Quran, but this is a real deal, legitimate monotheism. The lordship is not given to any other. Here, Christ was made Lord. Why? What's the reason? He can still be just a prophet. He can just still be a Christ, a Messiah, a chosen one for the Israelite people. But Muhammad stayed just a prophet, and he teaches purest, monotheistic view of Islam, of submission to the will of God. This thing is just an ordinary beads. It's just nothing. But these beads can help you pray. Devotion to the one and only true God. And there's no problem with that. Some people in masjids have this, praying to God alone. There's no problem with that. You can have this, you can have it without, you can pray without Him. You can pray just with your Quran, or you can pray with your Quran verses memorized in your mind, in your heart, in your mouth. And even you cannot memorize it, at least you respect the way they preserve it in Arabic in their original form. But Christ didn't speak any Greek at all. he speak Aramaic. I will not be a so technical and legalistic here, but the point is, I respect the way they preserve the religion. I admire the way they preserve the religion of Islam. And I'm not a biased, no? Not all Muslims, just like in Christianity, not all Muslims are that wise or good in the sense of practicing their religion. But in all practical manner, in all theological, let's talk theology. Islam is just much more simple. Just worship God. No intermediary, no other lords, no other gods, no small gods, no image of God, no likeness of God. Just to be with God. Even Christ, Hebrews 5:7, pray to God to have salvation. Even Muhammad subdued himself that he is just a human being like anyone else, like just us. 108 in 18110 rather. Let us read. I'm not a bias of Muhammad. There's so much thing to consider in his views, but this monotheistic view of his is very big deal for me. This is a real thing to be accepted. Same in 110, say, O Muhammad, I am only a human like you. It has been revealed to me that your God is one God. So whoever hopes for the meeting with his Lord, let him work righteousness and associate none as a partner in the worship of his Lord. Basic. Sabihin mo, Muhammad, tao ka lang. In Tagalog, tao ka lang. You are just a human being. Right? You are just a human being. This is my first Quran that I've been studied real and cover to cover, that I realize how important Tawheed is, monotheism, because this is what the reality is. Maybe I will accept this, or maybe even though I'm not perfect on becoming a Muslim, maybe I will embrace the truth of Islamic monotheism, that there is only one God. That's the purest thing. I respect all books. I will read Quran, I will read the Bible, I will read Hadith, I will read Talmud, but the purest thing of monotheism has always been there, hanging in there all this time. We just need to seek and read the one and only true God. And all of these books will make you curious, interested to the one and only Creator. Okay? I'm not saying this is not a good book. The Bible is a good book. Quran is a good book. But there is no other than that can give us a more wisdom and knowledge other than God. If you pray to God, who is you really? Who are you? Who really are you? He will answer you directly that I am one. If God, in the philosophy of what I have understand of monotheism, if God is powerful enough to be one, what would He need? Why would He need another one to be powerful enough? God is enough, being one. So there is no God but one, and la ilaha illallah, iisa lang ang Diyos. Lahat, iisa lang ang patutunguhan natin lahat. Yun na yung Diyos, ang Allah, ang originator, ang creator. La hawla wala quwata illa billah. Walang kapangyarihan sa ilalim ng langit bukod sa Kanya. Kahit si Jesus, si Muhammad, si Moises, si Abraham, sila Noah, sila David, sila Solomon, iisa lang ang Diyos na kanilang sinasampalatayanan at sinasamba. Their God is only one. And I cannot deny this. The truth of this is such a goosebumps for me to deny. Denying such kind of a truth like this, a monotheism, is just like killing yourself. No, it's just truth in your eyes. Just read it. Just seek and read the book of the Lord. What Lord is that? I believe that is the Lord of the universe, the one and only true God. Thank you for watching. And again, the truth will set you free. Just seek and read the one and only Creator that created you. Thank you for watching.